I used to believe that good neighbors made life easier. Then the construction crew next door proved me wrong. It started on a quiet Monday morning. I stepped outside with my coffee and immediately noticed something strange. Piles of wooden planks, bags of cement, and stacks of bricks were sitting right in the middle of my property. At first, I thought it was a mistake, so I walked over to the construction site and politely told the foreman that their materials were on my land. He barely looked at me. "Relax," he said with a shrug. "It's just temporary." Temporary. That word always sounds harmless until it isn't. The next day, even more materials appeared. Steel bars, gravel, and pallets of tiles now covered a huge section of my yard. Trucks drove over the grass, leaving deep tire tracks like scars across the lawn I had spent years maintaining. I went back to the foreman. "This needs to move," I told him firmly. He smirked. "Our project schedule is tight. We'll move it when we're done." That was the moment I realized they weren't asking. They were assuming. So instead of arguing, I simply nodded and walked away. That afternoon, I made a few phone calls. First, the city zoning office, then the building permit department, and finally, a local surveyor. 2 days later, bright orange survey flags appeared all along the edge of my property right. Through the middle of their neatly stacked construction materials, the surveyor confirmed what I already knew. Every single pallet of bricks, every stack of lumber, every bag of cement was sitting on my land. The next morning, the construction trucks arrived as usual, but this time they were greeted by a city inspector. Work stopped immediately. Turns out storing materials on someone else's property without permission violates several building regulations. Who knew? The foreman suddenly looked a lot less confident. The inspector gave them two choices: remove everything immediately, or face fines and permit suspension. For the next 6 hours, workers scrambled like ants, loading truck after truck, moving everything back onto their own property. But the real problem came later, because the delay pushed their delivery schedule back, which pushed the concrete pour back, which pushed the framing crew back. Within a week, their entire construction timeline had collapsed like a house of cards, all because they thought my yard was free storage space. A few days later, the foreman came to my door. This time he was polite. Very polite. He apologized and asked if they could temporarily park a delivery truck near my fence. I smiled. "Of course," I said. "Just make sure you ask first." Funny how respect suddenly appears once people realize the land actually belongs to someone else.